Hello everybody, Shadefyre here, and welcome back to Let's Play You Are Empty. This is the final episode. Coincidentally, the level is called Finale. So, we got a cutscene at the end of the last level that kind of touched a little bit more on what happened right before the game started. It seems like in addition to this whole mind ray device, which, surprise surprise, that guy turned out to be the core of, with his psychic abilities, also seems like it's linked into those little metal things that people had stuck on the back of their necks, which I guess they gave out to everybody while we were in the hospital. And then I suppose those received the mind and body altering rays from the device, and that's why everybody was affected, but for some reason we weren't. I guess because we were unconscious, they didn't slap one on us. So, I suppose our friend will be, inside this thing, and we'll probably have to shoot him a bunch or something. I mean, there hasn't really been bosses, but this seems like a final bossy sort of setup. Oh.
But I didn't think you'd show up so soon. I have to admit that you have fought hard. Now you know what happened to this world. You know what my great transformation has led to. Many might think that what happened means the dream has failed, but in fact, the goal has been reached. A new personality has appeared. A new man. One which is independent, self-sufficient, one capable of protecting himself. Fighting, surviving, and resisting. And all of that is you. This is delightful. My days are numbered, and you are the heir of it all, and you must rule everything. The future of the great transformation and the fate of this world are in your hands. Stay in this world, and lead new people forward. But you are free to choose a different path. You are the perfect part of mankind, and have the right to determine its fate. You can go back to the past and stop the birth of the great transformation. This will be your choice and your decision. The control center is right before you, but you must know that there is only enough energy in this system for one impulse, and you will therefore not be able to change what you have decided. Space and time are in your hands. Make the decision.
So I guess we've got multiple endings? Also, are we just going to gloss over the fact that, oh, by the way, you can also go back into the past? We invented a time machine while we were making this brain device. Also, he's really big. Like, ow, I don't know which ending I picked. I touched the chair by accident. I guess we're going in the past. We're gonna fix things. Are we gonna change the past by not getting hit by a car? Also, you can see him there in the background, using his psychic powers to get approval from Stalin. Yeah, I bet that's gonna go over well.
He's coming out again.
Все прогрессивное человечеством торжественно.
So by killing him, we just sort of put history back on its normal track.
You are ahead of us.
Важно, чтобы мы не заговорили перед...
Нам еще надо хорошенько поработать и попотеть, чтобы вас догнать.
Hooray, we saved the world from this game happening, I guess. I don't know, endings like that are always weird, because it's like, didn't we basically just invalidate everything we did? It was all for you, Lukash. Well, that's You Are Empty. I'll put the other ending at the end of this video. But, yeah. You know, I mean, I kind of went in expecting it to not be great, because, you know, a lot of these Russian FPS games are not great, but usually the trade-off is that what you lack in polish and, you know, technical, you know, impressiveness, you know, visuals and whatnot, you usually get a trade-off of having very interesting settings and art styles and, you know, all sorts of weirdness that kind of lack from a lot of Western games. But I feel like this game didn't quite match up to the standards of what I'd want from that. It's just kind of like, yeah, there's some interesting enemies and there's some neat little details mixed in there, but what we actually did for the most part was just shoot stuff. There wasn't a lot of, you know, shoot stuff to solve a puzzle, or even just like, hey, we gotta get this key so we can open the thing. A lot of it was just shoot your way through this short level. And I feel like, I don't know, maybe I've just grown a little weary of games that are just shooters. So I feel like the game didn't do enough to distinguish itself. But that said, there was interesting stuff in here, and you know, I'm glad that I played through it, even if it wasn't a great game. Like, a lot of the weapons didn't feel very good to use, especially the shotgun. The shotgun was kind of terrible and unreliable, in addition to sounding weak. But for the most part, I think the only weapon that really felt good to use was the Mosin, and that's because it was loud, it usually dropped enemies in one shot when you hit them, you know, it was pretty accurate. Everything else was kind of eh. The lightning gun was pretty much pure trash. Pretty disappointing as the crazy endgame weapon. But yeah, that's You Are Empty, and it may not be great, but I think it was definitely worth covering and playing through once. And you know, it's kind of important that games like this that'll just kind of disappear, you know, it's important to cover them on YouTube and that sort of thing, because otherwise all these games will be lost like tears in the rain. Anyhow, we're done with You Are Empty. It's October. October just started. So I'm going to try to do some horror stuff that I've been wanting to do. There's a fairly short game that I did a first impressions of when it came out and have not played since that I'd like to just do a blind playthrough of. Well, you know, blind besides what I played through at the beginning. But, you know, one of those Amnesia-esque games that seemed like it was fairly well received. And seemed fairly interesting from what I did play of it, so look forward to that, I guess. There's also some games that I've been wanting to do for a while that I think I'm about ready to do. You know, I talked about that a little bit earlier. Anyhow, I won't keep you. We'll see the other ending, and we'll also see the heavy machine gun that was cut from the final game, but is still spawnable. We'll, you know, shoot some stuff with that. And I hope you'll join me for future stuff. I've been Shadefyre, and this is You Are Empty. Enjoy. Actually, no, never mind. There isn't actually a second ending, because I guess they didn't want to bother to make one where you rule the future, so going to the past is the only choice. Alright, so here is the Maxim machine gun, which, as I mentioned, is a sort of super-powered cheaty weapon that you can only spawn in with the console, like so. Weapon, Maxim. Well, it's not going to do anything because we already have it, but it gave us some ammo for it. And yeah, so you can't fire this unless it's deployed. This is kind of the iron sights. So you can't, like, just kind of fire it from the hip. There's also the steel hand grenades, which are, again, just alternate kind of Molotovs that do not explode on contact. Should be a fireman down here. Oh, no, maybe not. Yep, there he is. Maybe not the best place to try to use one of those grenades. But, this thing has, I guess, 300 rounds in the, well, the magazine's probably not the right word since it's a box mag. But, the ammo counter for loaded ammo only shows 99, even though I reloaded it with 300, so that won't go down when I fire, I don't think. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't have put this in, though. I mean, it seems like a better late-game weapon than the bloody lightning gun. So we can find a group here to mow down. I guess that shield in the front probably doesn't actually cover us that much. It also doesn't seem super overpowered. I mean, it's not like we're one-shotting people here. Oh man, it's got some kick though. I think you also walk a little slower when you have it. But yeah, this seems like it would have been a cool weapon to have in the game, but for whatever reason, it's cut, but still pretty much in the game. I love that it sends people flying, though. Alright, so yeah, that's pretty much it for extra stuff. Just the grenades, which aren't really special, and... oh, fuck! Because these are just the ones that the enemies throw at you. And the Maxim machine gun. Anyhow, that's it. This LP is now officially empty. There is nothing left to show.